Good morning, Sandy Graham of hoboontheroad.com in Sosua, Dominican Republic. It's Wednesday, February 1st. My daily travel blog, video, whatever, something. I'm learning the ropes on this thing, so just hang in there with me. I'm trying to figure out how to do this. I'm moving today, and I bought a coffee maker. When I go to these places, one of the things I really recommend you do is don't get caught up in the money. You think that I'm a hobo, but the truth is I'm more than willing to upgrade my living conditions. I got a cup of coffee here in this big cup. I bought this cup here, but I'll show you this thing I got here. I bought a coffee maker here, and the coffee maker broke. Okay, but I got this little basket thing that has a permanent filter inside of it. Then it goes into it. I don't actually need the coffee pot. I can put it on top of the cup I've got, and I've got a real compact way of making coffee. You got a filter, a permanent filter, and whatever. But it's kind of a cool little device. But you know, I've been here a 2 or 3 months, and I'm moving to my next location, and I've got to dump some stuff. And the coffee thing stopped working a few days ago, but now I just heat up some water and I pour it into the coffee thing, and I can kind of brew coffee and have coffee. The goal here is always to get more compact. Contrary to any kind of thing you think, the selling of filters is the problem. Okay, buying filters, I mean, you could buy 400 filters and carry them with you for a year, which wouldn't be a big problem. But having something that fits on top of these cups, and these cups are really great. These big, I keep trying to buy them to put them onto my store. Not store. I try to coordinate it so you could buy them on the store. I think I got some the other day on the cooking stuff, because this is such a great cup. It can also be used for a dipper, and it can be used for a bowl, and it can be things. I use all these redundant systems. Well, what happened yesterday is same as always. I went down to the well, that's not true. Frank showed up at the New Garden and tried to buy me lunch. I tried to buy him lunch. I bought him chili the other day, and he bought me breakfast yesterday. I always think about the fruit to people, and Frank's always trying to buy me stuff, breakfast, whether it's coffee or whatever, and the generosity that comes from him is always appreciated, because I can look at his fruit and I can see that he's a good guy. I had to be sneaky the other day, though, because he's buying chili and paid for it. I spoke in Spanish, and he didn't really understand that I was paying. So we all got together for breakfast. Every day there's a breakfast at the New Garden. There's about 5 locations here in Sosua where the expats go hang out. You got the German bunch, the Swedish bunch, the French bunch, and the American bunch. Well, you also got a Canadian bunch, but they sort of mix in with the Americans, which is kind of funny, because this is one of the few places where the Canadians don't try to be a separate culture, even though they're so close to America. I realized yesterday that I'm a camera addict. This camera that you're looking at right now will not. It's a Canon SX10. I think it's a 20x camera that is optical zoom. It's a Canon camera, and it costs somewhere between $200 and $450 on Amazon.com. I think I paid about $325. Excellent camera. I've had it for 2.5 years, but it's got a little dot on it. It's got some problems, but it won't thing. But sign of an addict. I'm having withdrawal from the zoom feature. I'm like going, I don't know what to do. So yesterday I went on the one of my friends has they come out with these little pocket camcorders. It looks like a cell phone, and he has a Kodak, something playback thing, whatever, And I got on the internet and I found what he had, but I realized the batteries were bad. The batteries are inside the camera, and the only way to charge it sounds like I have to hook it up to a USB thing. I don't know, something I didn't. The batteries were a thing. I finally found another Kodak. This Kodak Sport. It was a Kodak Sport underwater camera. Really nice camera, and I was impressed because he wove it around and it still kept a video. I mean, when you take a camera and you are forming a video, doing a video, and you can wave it back and forth, and it stays in focus. Pretty good camera. But it also looked like a cell phone, so I could actually hold it up and do it. So I bought almost the same one, but for $49 used. They're actually going to ship it here, and I'll have a backup video camera, but it's an addition to my cameras thing because I wanted a cell phone that I could be sneaky, so I could take these cultural things and pretend I'm playing on the cell phone and do it. So yesterday I realized how, I spent it in the morning. I got on Amazon.com. I'm having it sent here to Sosua by way of a service called EPS, which is a forwarding service, which is really nice. They have this same thing in Lago Atlan, and it is one of the benefits of Sosua, which is good. When I get back to America, I'm going to try to buy another camera with maybe a 35x zoom. A 35x zoom is unbelievable distance on an optical zoom, and this Canon is compact. I keep thinking about going up to the professional grade, but it's just too big. Okay, so yesterday the other day, 2 days ago or 3 days ago, we went fishing in Sosua Bay, and I made a video. I needed to take this video over to my friends Charles and a couple of Texan guys, and I couldn't get it. I tried like mad to get a DVD burned of it, and the computer shop guy was too busy. Blah 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 blah. I mean, typical Latino stuff is that what you would expect to be easy to just get done didn't happen. I went to 2 different shops, couldn't get it done. The day before, the place was closed because of a festival or something. So I finally took a little flash drive over to these guys. We went over to his house. There's a guy over here, Charles, that's actually went to Afghanistan. He went to Somalia. I'm intrigued. We sit around in his house. He just bought a house, and talked about a bunch of different things. I don't know his story yet, but I'm going to try to interview him, because anybody who goes to Somalia gets my attention. Anybody who goes to Afghanistan gets my attention. So I have another person on my list of characters in the world that I'd like to interview. This shirt really is horrible. I don't know what. I really like this shirt, but I realize on the camera it looks horrible. It's got a big neck. It says "Se vende suegra." I bought it in the Santiago airport. What it means is, I will sell your mother-in-law. For sale, my mother-in-law. Okay, so it's a way to meet girls, actually. They can read this, and if they start laughing, that means they can read. Okay, but last night I went up to this guy's Charles' house over here. There's two. Sosua is built of 2 separate areas. There's the main beach, and then across the beach is another suburb called Charamicos, which is another village, which is walking distance away, but really it's a separation. And then I'm going to go to Montiano, which is another, like, say 8 miles away, and these are all really not that far apart. Charamicos, where he lives, he lives up the hill in a place called Los Cerros, which I have no idea what that is, which means maybe it's a barrio. And he bought a house up there. It's a 3-story house, and it's quite nice. Beautiful. We sit up on top of the roof, looked out at the lake and ocean, and these really professional guys don't accidentally say lake. They always say ocean. I think I'm having problems. Okay, but we sat up last night and talked about the state of the world in a really nice house. Looked like a $400,000 house in America. I think should be a $80,000 house here. I suspect he paid a lot more for it, but my value of real estate is anything over 80,000 outside the United States. See, the cost of money is different here. I mean, there's no way you can compare the cost of money. They only earn $10 a day, so $100 here should be $10 here is the same as $100. So anything that costs $10 here should be take 10 times that, because they earn $10 a day. That's my view. Okay, but beautiful house. Went up to see Charles. Going to try to interview him. He's got a really, really interesting story. I haven't figured it out. But he actually got me to talk more than him, so I feel a little. This morning I kind of woke up going, geez, the guy got more out of me than I got out of him, which was interesting. But I'll be interviewing him. I'm going to Montianto today, so I've got all this stuff packed up. I got my room almost cleaned, and it's kind of interesting because I hope to videotape the room I'm moving into before I trash it. Okay, this is a really challenge, guys, because I want to show you my rooms a lot of times, but I'm a clutter guy, right? So I come in, I sprawl, and by the time, you know, sprawling stuff is confusion in the brain for people. They don't overlook it. They actually see all the pieces, and it becomes part of their clutter in the brain. So for me to adequately show you rooms, I need to get them shown to you before I clutter them. And then when they're organized and they're set up and they're because after I arrange it the way I want it, that's not the way your brain's going to be. But if I could show you all these rooms prior, so a lot of times I do try to turn on the camera and video record the room prior to moving. So I'll try to do that today in Montiano, so I can show you what the room looked like without it now. It's really a temptation just to start unpacking. So I'm going to probably make another video today in the afternoon and show you what's going on. I wanted to welcome a guy named Luke Levesque from TravelPod. If you look at our index of our page, I'm doing a little deal with TravelPod. TravelPod is they're like virtual tourists and maybe Boots&All, where you can actually do your small blog. I mean, there's people that take off blogging and then, well, I don't know what they do. They connect up with TravelPod, and they have all these mechanisms where they can do a little, have their own little blog online, and they go out for 3 or 4 months and they write about it, and it becomes part of their page. And then TravelPod has all this content that's related, tied into the specific locations where these people went. I met Luke on, and it's a long story, but from my friend Steve, that works at TripAdvisor, and had a video thing with Luke over Skype yesterday or 2 days ago, and we put a little link on him to help promote his TravelPod. Kind of a win-win situation. He's in the big leagues. He's like number 5,000 on Alexa, while I'm like right at 75,000. We went down from 40,000 to 75,000 on Alexa, and but he wants to get the word travel blog, so we're trying to help him to do it. And when I come out with the book, he's going to do some promotion on that stuff. So we're kind of a win-win situation. I'm like the old man of travel blogging, and he's a lot of his. The people that go to travelpod.com are more, smaller vacations, smaller trips, short-term bloggers, and it gives them a place to celebrate their trip and upgraded photos. Kind of a little bit along the lines of Hobo Traveler, but it's different. We're going to actually have kind of a similar thing in a way, but more of a wall type thing and not a blog. Hopefully a lot simpler, but on our community. So we want more members in our community, and so if you want to join Hobo Traveler, you can upload photos for free, house sit, all these things. We're trying to get all these things activated so that eventually do it. I think Google may have had a public offering yesterday. Not sure. No, not Google, Facebook. Facebook is offering a public offering at $5 billion or something like that. I actually think they're at their peak, guys. I think Facebook is actually at their absolute highest value right now. I think everything else is going to be downhill as they fail to monetize. I think they're going to have a lot of trouble monetizing all these countries that they've gone into, because they can't sell advertising in India or something like that the way they should, and I don't think I think a lot of people are going to become very bored with it. It's too big. You know, people don't want to be part of something that's too big. So I think actually, strangely, both maybe this is the year 2012 where Google and Facebook have peaked. I think they both have ran they're trying too hard now. They're just trying too hard. They constantly come out with new products. This mean the knitting, the fundamentals are being diluted because they keep trying to add more and more and more, like one new feature. We have the same problem, hobo travel. I tell Andrew, I said, there's no point coming out with a new feature unless you do it. He wants to come out with a new feature. He says, new feature is just a new song and dance. He said, we have to stick with the knitting and make everything succeed what we have, and we failed at that tremendously. We have all these millions of little features that are just also rans. They never took off, and they've never been used. Like you can upload all the photos you want. It's backup photos on our website for free, and very few people use it. So it's not capitalizing on features. But I think Facebook is, and I hope they get sued by the United States government for privacy. They're very dangerous. There's going to be massive amounts of girls being raped and thing on Facebook because they give away too much information, and the guy just doesn't care. Google's much more better than that, but Facebook should be sued for a couple $2 billion for privacy. They're taking advantage of the fact that a person under 18 that really is an infant doesn't really know what they're doing, and their privacy is exposing this person to the world in a way that is irresponsible and unethical, and should be considered criminal. But he's smart enough now to go catch all his money before he loses everything. He's a pretty smart guy, clever little sociopath. Well, I'm going to try to make another video later today about me moving. Okay, when I say this, I'm living here, and I'm going to live in another place. Travel is the process of moving from one location to another place, and so I'm actually moving with a car. I'm going to walk out to the street, take all my packs, basically pay to buy the whole car, and at the most it'll cost me $10 to do it, unless my friend Anna or Johnny come through and take me there, which is possible too. And I've got 2 big bags. I've got a lot more here than I normally do, and I've kind of doubled up. I've got a broom and I got some pipe, so I'm going to move another 10 miles down the road and then stay there. Now, this transition is the torture of travel. Travel is not the fun part. So moving from one location to another, this is a short hop, but it's the same process. And moving, adjusting, and doing it. So later today I'll try to show you how I landed. It's really quite a simple thing because I can use a lot of space here. I have 2 big bags and I can fill them up. I don't have to stuff them tight. I can have like 3 big garbage bags in a way. I could, and I'm done. I don't get organized on this thing because it's just a garbage bag to garbage bag thing. While when I try to get on an airplane, I have to compact it, which is torture. So these little moves like this are much more enjoyable because there's just a 3 garbage bag type system in a way. Then you spend all your time, you don't have to be organized because as you take things out of the bag, you organize it. So it can be very disorganized going in, which is a wonderful way to pack. I mean, if I was, there's a lot of times I think just having a big duffel bag and throwing everything in the duffel bag is a great way to travel. And if you're older and you really can't carry the bag because you're not strong enough, it's all you really need is a duffel bag. So you can get a U.S. military garbage bag. I mean, it's a duffel bag and fill it up, and everywhere you go just fill it up, and then have some way of protecting the stuff that is delicate. I actually carry a plastic bucket, which I recommend highly. Okay, well, it's Andy, Hobo Traveler. Life is good. This is the 1st of February, and my daily travel log, travel blog, video log, something like that. Have a good day.